everyone, Richard here as Calvin Wazoo with another video. Just a short one. It's a concert review. Last night I met up with Mike from Hub Tunes and JJ from JJ's Explosive Hits, and we went to see Mdou Moctar and also Parquet Courts. So, and we had a great time. It was a great show at the Riviera here in Chicago. And yeah, I want to talk about that. This is the second time that I've seen Mdou Moctar. So maybe, what was it, sometime last year, saw Mdou Moctar at a venue called Lincoln Hall here in Chicago. This time it was, at the Riviera, which I've seen other shows there. And Mdou Moctar opened for the concert. So the opening clip that you just saw, was kind of, that was his opening. He was getting ready to play, with that. I have another clip where he was really going. He was just totally amazing. The rhythm section, his rhythm guitarist, the drummer, is just maniacal, and the bass player, they're just so solid. It was kind of one of those opening sequences or opening acts that I sometimes feel like the headliner, dreads, because the opening act was like so strong. And it was clear in the venue that people didn't start really coming in until after Mdou Moctar had played, and because they were there for Parquet Courts. Now, Mdou Moctar played. The other time I saw him, he opened with it was kind of like an acoustic set. I mean, the acoustic guitar was amplified, obviously, but it had pickups. This time, no, he comes out and he's playing with that white Fender that someone had gifted him, many years ago. And then he went through and played mostly songs that come from the release Ilana the Creator. He played at least one that I remember from A Freak Victim. And then he played a new one. He announced that it was a brand new song, which I'm really hopeful then, because that could very well mean, that another album may be forthcoming. Yeah, just such amazing guitar playing. The one issue was the vocal monitor, was not working effectively. You couldn't hear his vocals unless he really got his voice high up and soaring, and then you could hear him. But the other times, which was sort of frustrating, especially when Parquet Courts came out, because they didn't have any problems with the vocals. The sound from the vocals was coming in fine. But that's, sometimes the case when you're an opening band. It is the other band's technical crew that's managing the soundboard and the sound and all that, whatever. But here's another clip where Mdou Moctar was really starting to get into what he was doing. the other thing is, I really believe he was kind of holding back. I mean, he was really getting in, he started really getting into playing, for the crowd and all that, but it was a short set, and yeah, I kind of feel like he held back a little bit. But anyway, then came out Parquet Courts. I don't have any video clips of Parquet Courts, primarily because, one, I'm not all that familiar with their music, but also two, I was sitting up you could see I was in JJ and I were up in this balcony area of the Riviera. And there were these people who showed up for Parquet Courts who were like in the second row of the balcony. So there's like nothing in front of them and they're standing up, through the entire show. So, which was kind of annoying, but the music was really, really good. Seriously, Parquet Courts is a really versatile band. I mean, they play very punkish songs that are reminiscent of The Clash and even DOA, but then they also can easily slip into this Depeche Mode kind of vibe that's mixed with like Talking Head rhythms. And they can get funky as well. They had played some really, really good funky tunes. And then they played this one very pop song that was like, the Kinks, just a really pop rock dynamite song. Then there were other moments where it was like Ray Manzarek from The Doors meets Frank Black from the Pixies. It was really good. And then they also had a song toward the end that had a very television quality to it. And then they played a really, really great ballad, kind of a power ballad in some respects. Now, when I use these other bands to talk about their music, I'm not saying they're reductive in any way. But you can hear influences like that in bands, but Parquet Courts definitely has their own sound, and they're good at what they do. They were a great live performing band, and I've heard some of their recorded material. I'm still not really very familiar with them. But they, and my reaction to the recorded material is, yeah, it's pretty good. But man, they do put on a really outstanding show. And I could tell the crowd was very partial to some of the songs. They were, they would sing along and they'd be standing up and rocking to the songs that were a little more on the punk side, a little harder rocking kind of song. But it it was a great show. Really, really enjoyable show. I think later I'm going to go down to Reckless Records and see if they have any. I mean, they had a bunch of merch there and at the show, with all the records from Parquet Courts. But I was kind of like, I didn't know which one to buy, And then I've done a little more research this morning, and it seems like they're all highly rated by both fans and by critics. They all score 4.5, stars. So I'll see what they got and probably pick something up. So that was a good show. Not a bad venue. The other thing too is that Parquet Courts invited Mdou Moctar to come out and jam with them, and he did. It was unfortunately though, because Mdou Moctar would go to the front of the stage, while he's, jamming away to the song, which the lead singer from Parquet Courts announced that the song was the first track off their new album, I think, is what he said. So I don't know what the name of the song was, but Mdou Moctar would like go to the front of the stage right there by the fans, and which there was somebody surfing, crowd surfing. They're pushing somebody around. But they never put the spotlight on him, so he was like in the dark playing. It's just incredible, incredible guitar playing. I am not at all afraid to say that Mdou Moctar is now, I mean, forever, whenever I would make my list of the greatest rock and electric guitar players ever, Jimi Hendrix was always firmly at the top. I'm confident to say that Mdou Moctar has unseated, in my list anyway, Jimi Hendrix. So, yeah, that was the show. It was a good time. It was great to see in person, Mike and JJ. It was great for JJ to come down from Milwaukee to see the show. Good time had by all. And then later this week, it's Car Seat Headrest. 2 shows, Friday and Saturday night. I'm going to both of them. So there you go. Check them out. And you can drop a comment in the Down Under telling me, what, if you're familiar with Parquet Courts, let me know, which albums are which. Because one of the things I kept thinking about is their variety of style. They're very, very good and adept at a variety of musical styles. And I kind of started wondering, do their albums reflect this variety, or are their albums kind of focused? Like is like one album mostly focused into the post-punk or a pop rock area, whereas another album might be more focused a little more in the electronic and in mood-driven music that's similar to Depeche Mode? Or do their releases mix all of these together, which would be great, because I did really like the way that they mixed everything up. So anyway, leave a comment in the Down Under. Hope you enjoyed this. Take care, and always remember to pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.